All right, now we are live. What is up, everybody? Again, it's me, Rene Sanchez, with Eddie Flores and Big V Dubs. I don't know what she's drinking in her cup, but I guess it's up to everyone to guess.
Oh, show the cup. Show the cup. Let's see what it is, real quick.
What's your guess, Eddie? Oh no, it's just coffee.
I would say that looks like some old hot cocoa.
It's
What
coffee.
is that? Coffee? That's your guess? Mine's hot cocoa.
I think
What does she got?
Because she's
probably
gonna
coffee.
she's gonna stay up till like 1 to do some work after this shit.
All right. So what's the answer? Let's see.
It's cold brew with mocha. That's why it looks like
Oh shit.
chocolate. So you guys are both kind of right.
That's what I was gonna say. Kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the consistency is definitely cocoa.
That shit is cool. Damn, that's thick.
Now you were saying before the podcast, and if we could talk about this, that
not alcohol.
Last time we were on the podcast, we were both having drinks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you said you're gonna quit for a month. Why?
While shooting 2 days in Palm Springs, the first day was so good. Like the room I was in was like an upgrade from the other two people that got a room because it was like comped for them, but then the magazine was able to do a trade to get an additional room for me, but at a different hotel. And I was like, I'll just go ahead and I'll shoot the other hotel. I'll just take whatever that is, not knowing exactly what it was. Wow, it was upgrade from their hotel. Their hotel was very white and pristine and very clean. Kind of cool because there was like a bathtub in the middle of the room.
That's cool.
So like, yeah, Palm Springs, yes, bitches, like that type of vibe. And then mine was like the hipster inside of me was like aesthetics. I walk out of my room that's giant and there is a freaking jacuzzi like straight from my room, like 10 feet. I didn't have anything to wear, so I wore my bra and my underwear. And it was at night. Great. But then they also had a ton of different drinks inside of my room, and like every beer was like $7. And I was like,
it's nothing.
If I were to go out, it'd still cost that much for a beer. So why not have 3?
That's exactly what I thought. That's what I was.
Yeah. But apparently that was too much for me. And I woke up with a hangover and we still had work to do. I do like yoga, like document that. But luckily, like the yoga instructor like messed up on the time. It was supposed to be at 8, but then she rescheduled it for 10. So like, we're not coming back. Like we already came here and she was like, oh crap, I didn't know until last minute. I'm like, well, that's how all these like print, like it's weird how they work. Literally, nobody knows anything. Not the owner of a place. Nobody knows jack shit until all of a sudden you're there and you're like, oh, San Diego Magazine is here on behalf of Palm Springs Tourism. Don't you know? Didn't they reach out to you? And they're like, no, we didn't know, but we would love the publicity. We'd love to be like a part of the story so then people can go do it. But we're like, we're not going to come back. So I was messed up for that, messed up for like everything. Then I ate and I thought I was fine. But then like it was already like 5 p.m. and we're still shooting stuff. And I'm like, I can't get out of the car right now. I'm dying.
Why is it that they don't know that you're coming? Like what's going on?
I think what happens is like they whoever's in charge of reaching out doesn't reach out in time. So like they don't even see it in the box.
Gotcha.
Or if it's like a bigger thing, like we shot at UTC before, and I think that was the biggest headache. Each store has like resetting people, and resetting basically, for those who do not know, in the retail world is like the design of what guides a person in to buy something. They want to lure you in. So they want to set it up in a way that's like visually appealing, blah, blah, blah. So that's why there's this whole like, no photos, no videos. You can't see what we're doing because we have to keep resetting. But it's stupid because it's fashion. There's like 58 different seasons in a year now for fashion, the rotation.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. But because of that, there's like a person on top of a person on top of a person. So whoever the manager is at the time doesn't ever get what we're sending off. Like we might send it like 3 weeks in advance, but then it's got to go to that manager, to the other person underneath. And
Gotcha.
It just gets really complicated.
Has there been one where they got like super pissed? Like, what the hell are you doing here? Like,
Well, yeah, we immediately when we walk in, because there's like me with all my gear, a camera dude with all his gear, and then the lady that's like hosting us for the day, that's like guiding us to where we need to go. Whether it's a person like with like a plaza or a person that's with a magazine. Luckily, when it's a person that's with the actual like venue or property that we're supposed to be shooting at, they already kind of know. Like, oh, hey, Jim, we're here today, and I'm just letting them come over and shoot all this. And like, okay, cool, because she's in charge of everything. So if you're mad, you can go yell at this lady later. But when it's us walking in with like the magazine rep, it's like, oh, hold on, I'm the manager of the store. Don't record anything yet. Let me get on the call with our other manager, like regional manager. It's like, oh my God, it's just dumb, like free people. No one cares. Like I can already imagine what they're selling there. Close my eyes. Boho inspired florals, a little see-through, kind of cold, blah. You know, like what is there?
That's just crazy, man.
It's too
There's
much.
a lot of probably power trips and politics on that shit. So
all of it is. It's all about money. It's all about how they can make something more marketable. And that's why I stopped drinking.
That's cool.
For a month though. Are you trying to go longer, or are you gonna?
No, I'm just
like by ear.
I just want to like make my brain say you don't deserve it until you're done with the job.
No. When you did drink, since you're on a month break, what did you drink? Would you drink beer, or would you drink like mixed drinks, or both?
Both. Like whiskey's my jam, mezcal's my jam, gin.
Me too.
And then beer. But if I have beer, I can't say no.
You can't say no to beer?
Yeah. Like if they're like, oh, have another one, I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Like, what's the third one gonna do? It's like,
I feel like
you never know.
I feel like beer gets you full, so like I can only have a few. You know what I mean? Like, whereas like alcohol, like mixed drinks, dude, I can get in trouble for that.
Oh, I feel that though so quick. It's like if I have 2 cocktails, I'm like, need to eat. Beers, since you are getting full, you don't even think about eating.
Yeah, I do. I get the beer munchies.
Okay, all right.
Bunchies? You get the bunchies?
That's where like burritos come into place, dude. Oh, you know what sounds good? Especially being from here, a California burrito.
Oh, hell no.
Especially when you're drinking, yeah, that's the jam, dude.
Mm-mm.
Same thing. I haven't really done that in a while because that shit messes me up. It's just like you regret it the next day. Way too much drinking, and then way too much food. So it's like, all right, cut that out.
No regrets.
Yeah, well, it's tiring. You get over it. So I wanted to pose a question to you guys. I know we're both either Canon shooters and or Sony shooters, or just Sony shooters. Now, Eddie, I want to ask you, why do you prefer Sony?
Sure. Let me paint a little background first, though, because I wasn't always Sony. Definitely had my fair share of Canon boy enthusiasm. Canon, thank you for being my first camera. Sponsor this podcast. Fuck off. So Canon, I have beef with you, man. As a rookie photographer, why can't you just that mirrorless? Like, this is one thing where I easily pitch to like someone just getting started out in the game. Yeah, I get you have to know your settings, manual, shutter speed, aperture, ISO, all that shit. But dude, the what you see is what you get. That's unfair. Like that, just where you could poke your little eye and you're moving your ISO and you're seeing that, oh shit, it's really bright. Let me darken it with the ISO. Dude, that to me, for a rookie, I wish I would have started off with that. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit of good shit about Canon. I love their menu system. Sony's could fuck off. Like Sony's is like a nightmare, dude. Like that, I felt like I was a technician where I was like, damn, I need to read a manual for this shit. And I watched like 13 YouTube videos. I was like, nah, this is bullshit. So I had to make a custom favorites list of the shit that matters. So I went through like 6 YouTube videos just to make a custom menu. But I will say this, once you get those things down, like the basics, man, for a rookie, that would have been a greater way to start. I think I would have learned a lot faster in terms of shutter speed, my ISO, because I fucked up a lot in Canon, man. Like,
you?
ISO, I would be like ISO 200, and then I'd take my picture, and I was like, oh shit, let me crank my ISO up. Versus with Sony, put that shit on, and I know I'm gonna nail it all the time. And I'm gonna tell you a secret. I love back button focusing on Canon, but that Sony eye focusing track with the 85 millimeter 1.8, I do not miss. I have like a 95% delivery ratio versus with my Canon. I used to use a 6D Mark II, and then what's the other one? The 5D Mark IV. I can't remember, but I would miss because I would do the back button spot focusing in the area. But dude, shit, that Sony, it's almost annoying that I have so much options, and that's a good problem. Where I'm like, damn, that one came out, that one came out, that one came out. So it kind of just gave me superpowers. So that's why I like Sony now. And no, I'm not going to get rid of Canon. No, I'm not going to burn them to the ground. But Sony is going to be my A camera, and Canon's will be my C camera. That'll be like my C camera. Where it'll stay like where if I'm teaching students, if they want to do Canon, like, yeah, I'll pull out my Canon and I'll teach you with the Canon. Like, I'll be fair. I won't say, oh, couldn't Sony. Like, if they like Canon, I'll be nice and I'll be like, yeah, I have a Canon in the back. Let me pull that shit out and we'll go shoot. Because that's one thing that I want to do is teach people how to use cameras. And I understand that Canon's great at marketing. So yeah, there always is going to be people sold on that shit for sure. And I will accommodate. But Sony, motherfucking, where have you been all my life? What about you guys? I know, dude, I want to fight about it. This is going to be fun. Who wants to go first?
I'll let V-Dubs go first. Ladies first.
All right, V-Dubs, because I know we just talked about it a little bit before, but Canon versus Sony, shoot.
Okay, well, I don't disagree with what you said.
Okay.
At all. Like, the guy that I partnered up with, he exclusively shoots with Sony. He's trying to get me to convert. So he's like, he's like, oh, you can even like now use your lenses on my camera, and I can use like my lenses on your camera. I bought the adapters for both of ours. Ooh, I'm like,
drugs.
tricky man. But like, I think the first time I shot with him, he's like showing me what he does, and I'm like, I'm just here assisting, watching. And he took a picture inside of the kitchen, and I'm like, it is underexposed. He basically shot with me pointing this freaking the Godox little dude. And I'm like, did you misfire? Like, it's black. This photo is black. Non-recoverable. But it's a Sony. He showed me this black screen and then showed me what he did. And I'm like, if this was a Canon,
it would have fell apart.
If this was a Canon, and all the information is not there. And I think that's the biggest thing about the two of them. Yeah. But I think I prefer just the color of Canon.
Oh, let's talk about that. That's
when it comes to like weddings, even because people are so worried about their skin. Always worried about their skin.
I'll give you that. Like, Canon's color science is fucking great, dude. Sony's barely catching up with the new lines. Like, if you see the new ones, like I think it's the A7S3.
Yeah,
that shit is like close to Canon's. They're catching up.
$1,000 lens or camera, like.
Yeah, but that thing's like 3-4 racks, dude. Like, no, thank you.
It's so expensive.
It is, but if we go back, like the A7 III, that's when they started introducing better color science, but it's nowhere near Canon's. That's what I gotta say. Canon's for sure, their color science is good, but let's all be real here. We're professionals. If you know how to color grade, like, isn't that an easy fix though? Like, on some real shit.
I think it's when you see it though. When you just see it on the camera and you're like,
yeah, it throws you.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like showing previews like of skin looking a little funky, like to Sony. Like, I kind of hesitate with my Sony where I'm like, oh, look at this. But I know with Canons, they see it and it looks almost edited already. So yeah, damn. Okay, cool. And I forgot to mention that, but the low light shit is next level on the Canon. The Sony. You can shoot in the dark in those bitches, and that in video. I remember shooting over 3200 with the Canon 6D Mark II. That thing fell apart after 3200. Everyone looked muddy, but I could shoot 6400 ISO with the Sony comfortably, where I'm like, this shit's going to be all right. And dude, I've delivered it, and my goodness, on 4K, downscale that to 1080, it's unfair. It's super unfair. So, man, my hat goes off to them for upping that game, man, because Canon's got great marketing. I feel like Sony's still not the shit. Like, people don't know that name a lot unless you're in the game. Like, I don't hear people go, oh, Sony. They go, Canon or Nikon. I hear that a lot, dude. Like
the consumer market, is for sure Canon and Nikon.
For sure.
User friendly. So it's like, if you want to learn, it's definitely easier on that.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know, the learning curve on a Sony is a lot harder. Like you said, you watch like 60 videos to get it dialed in how you wanted it. So,
and that's what someone with experience, that's fucking scary. Like, you know how scary it is for someone just to learn that triangle exposure, like when you're a rookie on a Canon. It breaks people's hearts. They're like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. Like introduce Sony too.
First you have to press the wheel, but you have to press it to the side.
Yeah, dude.
And then you can
they're
like, what?
Yeah. So that's why I say Canon is great to like get your foot in the door. But man, I'll tell you this, if you got someone who could teach you and like set up your settings and just teach you the basics, get you past that, that's the secret. Because I talk to a lot of my students and they say that they go on YouTube and get more confused because people teach it different and it's very chaotic. They're like, oh my God, I watched like 3 videos and now I don't know what the fuck is going on. Because you got to think like, and Rene, you might want to touch on this, but every creator, don't they have their own process and style and different ways how they teach? Imagine if you're getting scattered information piece to piece. What would that do for that user, man? Like when you first started, let me ask you guys a question and we'll go back to the Sony Canon. How was your guys' learning career? Like, where did you guys pick up your information and how was that? And I'll start off and I'll say mine a lot was on YouTube and it was very counterintuitive. Like I would go with someone and then they would teach it well and I liked them, but then they'd either stop talking about that subject or go to like another subject or just they would stop making videos. So I would go to another person and they taught it completely different. And then it made me think, oh, that guy was wrong or who's right. So it kind of fucked me up. How about you guys? Curious.
So I think I'll go first. So it was just a mixture of all of them. Like I had some books, I practiced and I fucked up a lot of shit. So that's why I learned a lot. And then I had like a mentor with both Canon and Sony's. So then he kind of.
What do you mean, my mentor? Like, was it a physical teacher that like taught you, or what?
Yeah, like a physical teacher, someone I was learning with. I was getting paid though too, and like practicing. And, like, I mean, like like you go out and like people need help, and you tell them what your experience level is at. And at the time, mine wasn't very high, so I was getting paid accordingly. But I also was learning at the time. So it's like I get knowledge from books and then YouTube. And then with YouTube, I was always jumping back and forth between people I liked, because they're different. Like this guy doesn't go through all the steps, or this guy
correct,
or this guy goes right to the point for what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? It just depends.
Yeah.
Some people like tell tell too much stuff. But and then with the mentor was like top notch. That was the best.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you about the mentor. Like, how did you get paid for that? Like, did you apply for that, or what's the story with the mentor thing? That's kind of cool, man.
Yeah, I applied for it. Just online. Yeah, just online, and then met up, chit chatted about what we've shot, whatever, and then like did a couple years, and like showed me the ropes. This is picked his brain about stuff, and I went on from that.
I wish I had that. Like I did things like by myself and I got fucked up. How about you, V-Dubs? Like how'd you do yours? How was your career started?
Oh, with a really shitty Fuji.
A shitty Fuji? Damn.
This ages me. That's like before everybody's posting like tutorials on
I said
YouTube.
Books. Pretty good. I was like books.
Well, yes, books. I had the books. Like I went to college for it, and it's like a waste of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I took one photography course or not course class in college, and it was slow as fuck, dude. The aperture was talked for like about a week, and I remember watching YouTube and like they taught aperture, ISO, and like all the shutter speed in one video. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, damn, dude.
I do like it that though they put you like it makes you liable for making up projects. That's the only thing I like.
Yeah, that's correct. It puts some fire under that ass. Whereas with YouTube, you could like, what's that thing? It's called the fake satisfaction, where you're like, I watched the video, I got it down. No, bitch, you gotta go do it. Like, you gotta go do the work. That's how you get it.
Right.
That's how you get it.
I think the going to school for it was kind of nice in the sense that, like, I also met other people, like my peers, like wanted the same shit.
That's
And
cool.
the groups that I ended up being in, there was like a good amount of people from those groups that are now like still professionals.
That's
like
dope.
I know like a husband and wife team that now they cover a whole bunch of stuff. Like one guy, he moved to Chicago and like cover like all things Chicano, which was crazy because now he's like very well known. He came back to California, but very well known like documentary style photographer.
Damn. What school did you go to? Fullerton. Okay. Damn. I guess they make some savages there, dude.
Like a lot of people. There's one girl, she's like a criminal investigator photographer.
Oh, dude, is that where you take pictures of like dead bodies?
Yes.
Fuck that, dude. I would hate that job, dude.
I personally like it.
Oh, you sicko.
I think that's kind of cool. I think it's
okay.
Cool.
So
I would do
real
it
quick,
too.
let's shift a little bit. Like, you don't think that shit would fuck you up, like singing shotgun shell, like what? Walk me through your guys' head.
Like, quick sidelining this part of the topic, the how did you learn part. Boom. Okay. Right. So I grew up in the ghetto. I saw no.
Oh, ghetto.
All right. Anyways, grew up in the ghetto, saw a guy get shot, and we wrapped him up in our blanket until the police came, and then they wrapped him up in like that thing to like keep him from hyperventilating or whatever you do.
How old were you?
Like 7.
Oh shit! So you were little, okay?
I saw a guy get beat with a crowbar outside of my like right next to the, what's it called? Where you get your mailbox. Beat right there. Bum 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 bum.
Like to a pulp, like literally to where.
Oh, like not entirely dead.
Okay.
You had to still have somebody take him away.
Damn.
Yeah. So I like seen lots of bloody things.
So you
what part of town did you grow up? What part of town was this?
In Canton.
Where?
In Canton.
Where?
In Canton?
Encanto.
Where's Encanto?
Enchanted.
Where is that?
It's in between Lemon Grove and Barrio Logan. If you
shit. Okay.
You know where the Four Corners of Death is?
Barrio Logan used to be crazy hood, dude. Like
Yeah.
right now it's so hipster as fuck.
It's
like
weird.
It's weird, but back then
I see white people walking. I'm like,
yeah, no, people got shot, like beaten around there for sure. So if you're between, and Lemon Grove is pretty hood too. Lemon Grove is really hood.
Yeah.
So in between there, you get the crazy sides of both worlds. So that's nuts that you grew up there, yo. That's crazy. Okay, so then like, so it's not that you're uncomfortable with it, but like you'll be chill, like seeing that kind of stuff, like because obviously you went through it and you saw it already, huh?
And I mean, if they're dead already, then it's not like as bad as if you see somebody dying.
Oh, that's a good point.
Like you don't want to see like the life come out of somebody, but if they're already dead, you're like, oh, that's weird. They're dead, or it's.
That's a really good point. I never thought about it like that.
Like eyes, and you're like, you see the person like, oh, fuck, you know, and you're like, oh, crap.
Dude, on some real shit, I seen someone on their last breaths, like for cancer and shit, and seeing the life evaporate from someone is pretty scarring. So I could only imagine it, like with fucking like, you know, a crowbar, like like as they're breathing, like nah, fuck that. But if they're dead, that's a good point. I never saw it that way. That's crazy. What about you, Rene? Like, what's your thoughts on all this? This went really dark, real crazy. It's kind of cool.
You guys are
from Sony, Canon to fucking.
We were talking about some other shit. We were talking about death. I was just listening to you guys go off the rails.
Yeah, we went off the.
I think it'd be like any of those professional jobs where you just get used to it. Like, you know, like firefighters get used to it, cops get used to it. I mean, I don't want to say you get used to it, but it's part of their job. So I think you'd be professional about it. And same shit, dude. I've seen all the websites with all the nasty shit. I don't think.
Rotten.com.
Yeah, like all that shit when I was a kid.
My parents showed me that shit.
Rotten.com. I don't even know if that shit's still up, but yeah, all that stuff.
Damn, that's crazy. Well, hey, let's segue back to, because you said the word professional. Now, we talked a little bit about the rookies, kind of like, I mentioned like Canon starting off like for rookies is awesome because they get to know it. But now let's talk about pro. Like, now that I kind of like what V-Dub said, that I don't disagree with what you said. As a pro, which system do you think is better overall? And I'm talking about like lenses and bodies. Like, what, as a pro, where would you invest your money if you were to start all over? Like, say you didn't have your Canon gear, your Nikon, your Fuji. What would you start off with and why? Knowing what you know now.
I think it depends on the type of clients you have. If you have like commercial clients, maybe you're doing video, I would do Sony 100%.
Okay, so let's talk about that, and then what would you recommend that for weddings too? Like, say, wedding videos, Sony?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Just also too, because I like to pack light. So
those things are small, dude.
Yeah, smaller bodies, smaller lenses. They're not as heavy. That's why I would like to do Sony.
Okay.
But
when do you use Canon? When do you use Canon?
Like photography.
For photography?
For photography, for sure. Okay. It just I'm used to it 100%. And I hate to say this, but it looks super professional. You got fatter bodies, fatter lenses.
I'll give you that too, yeah.
I don't know, man. I hate to say that, but it's like you look the part. You know what I mean? Like, you have a big white lens on your body with the big fat.
Got that ring.
Yeah.
Just this. Look at the beefiness, dude. Like, come on. Like, when you're sniping with this, people think you're legit. I'm like, nah, dude. Like, I could suck so much ass holding that, and you would never even know. That's what I mean. So when you're flexing, Canon would be cool. Like, when you're flexing, like, say you got a commercial client and it's photography like that, to look professional, maybe that looks good in the business world.
Even like wedding clients, I've had them like, oh, what? Like, I've been up to meetings, like, what do you shoot with? And I show them lenses and bodies, and no, it's like a body with the grip, and it looks fucking way professional. So they're already impressed by it.
Size does matter.
Kind of, man. So that's what I'm saying, though. Like, if you had to have a look, like, there's a reason.
That's a good point, though.
There's a reason people wear suits. There's a reason people wear an attire. It's because it looks professional.
Wow. That's a really good point, man. That's a really good point. How about you, V-Dubs? Again, from the professional side, full system, you got nothing. And you could pick your choice, like what Rene said about weddings and video work. Like he said, Sony. What would you say for what and why? Curious.
I think I agree with literally all of that.
Okay, so you would just match that?
Except
okay.
I would obviously, if I hadn't bought Canon, I don't think I'd be a Canon loyalist. Like, I think I would just go like deep delve into the Sony world and just figure out how to adjust my settings along the way. So if I do have to show a client something, I've already changed my white balance.
Yeah.
So it's not trying to pick up its auto bullcrap, cooling everything down where everyone's like, do I look cold? I'm like, no, it's fine.
I'm dying.
It's fine. I mean, it is winter here in San Diego, but come on. I think what I've noticed a lot, especially having to edit second shooters work, me and them, it's like shoot, miss, shoot, miss, shoot, miss. I'm like, the hell? Or an in-camera shake, where's the stabilization of the lens, everything, or motion blurs and all this stuff keeps happening even when I'm shooting at 500th of a second. I'm like,
dude, for real,
how? Or you have your focus meter with Canon right in the middle and you're centering right on somebody's nose and it back focuses. Where you're like, what's wrong? You take it in. They're like, nothing's wrong. Like, what do you mean nothing's wrong? And then with Canon, or not Canon, with Sony, you can just do.
Dude, isn't it like a cheat code? Doesn't it feel like a cheat code where you're like, I can't
you just
miss.
point and everything's fine. But I think with maybe the viewfinder, I don't see it looking like a finished product like I do with Canon.
Correct.
And that's what makes you feel insecure anyways when you're shooting. If you're looking at something like, let's say, in the middle of the day and you're like, this looks awful, but then you see it later again at like the reception time, you look at it and you're like, oh my God, like the LCDs like makes this image look so good, but you can't see that with the Sony ever.
No
matter what time of day. You're like, I have a vision of it in my head and it can be whatever I want, even if I mess up. But with Canon, I have a vision of it in my head. I see it there. I pull it up to edit in Lightroom and it's a soft focus for no reason.
Dude, imagine if Sony got that Canon touch later, like say in like 2 years or something, it's game over, right?
Yeah. I would sell all my stuff immediately.
Dude,
that's the difference is I feel like Sony's tech is changing. Tech, software, firmware, all that stuff is going to keep changing and keep getting better. Finally, Canon decided to release something that might make it not worth, if you already are so invested, to switch over.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But then you already have to pay like $4,000 or $5,000.
Dude, for reals, and at that point, I might be already looking into Sony.
Exactly.
At that point, so
I will say this, and I'll add on to my answer. Like if I was brand new, and let's say I was like 16 or 18 or whatever, or 20 or whatever, and I had no equipment, I would just start off with Sony equipment.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But because I started off with Canon equipment, that's the only reason I still have it. Because I've already invested a lot of money. But if I had zero equipment and I started, I would just start with Sony. Even like a cheaper camera, I'd start with that.
Have you guys heard of I think it's called the A6000, like a little old school crop sensor from Sony?
Yeah, I have the.
Dude, they say that's a great starter camera, like a really good one. Like, and you could get one now if you're just starting. Whoever's listening to this podcast, go to OfferUp and you probably could get one for $400 or $500. I'm not even kidding. And those, you're getting Sony's tech that we talked a little bit. The autofocusing, shooting at night in the dark, it's unfair. So if you're just starting, you hopped on the right podcast, damn it. It's like, dude, we just gave you some fat fire tips.
I'm on eBay right now and I see one for $350. So
dude, you see that? Her face is oh shit.
I have a A6300 that I like to carry around and just shoot with.
A6300?
Your fun one.
What?
Your little fun camera.
That thing is dope. I love that thing.
Dude, it's so portable. You could put that in your pocket, dude.
I know. That's why I love it. I'm more of like portable. If I can like, if I could fit a lot of stuff in that case, that's what I'm all about.
I've seen your case. You fit a lot of shit in there, dude. It's pretty tight. Damn, dude. Yeah. So hats off to you, Sony. Like on some real shit, you've doing a lot of good things, and we're waiting till you fix that the sickly thing, because we want to show our clients like, yo, they look healthy. Because I love showing that Canon picture, but I fucking hate this, and I bet you both could relate to this. You show them that awesome Canon one, and what you mentioned earlier, V-Dubs, you don't see that it's fuzzy. Like, it looks good on the viewfinder. You're like, dude, this picture's the shit. You hype it up, and then you post it, or you edit it in post, and you're like, fucking motherfucker, it's out of focus. And now they're expecting that picture because you showed them, and you're like, damn it, why did I show? So I hate that, dude. So Sony, if you could get that, like, it's game over, dude. Like, I'm already pushing people that way, but I would feel 1000% confident if they got that dialed in for sure. Because, dude, I feel like a cheating photographer with the Sony. Like, I tell my wife, I just kind of like one-handed, but we're with the Canon. I'm like,
let me take 10 photos of the exact same thing. Just make sure. So you're killing your life of your camera, hoping that you get the right shot when you're like Sony.
And I'm shooting less and less with Sony. Like, before I would shoot 10. Now I'm like 2 or 3, and I'm like, we got it. I know we got it. So
has anyone ever complained to you about your equipment, like with Sony? Like, oh, what is that?
Say that again?
Has anyone ever complained to you, like when you're shooting with Sony, just based on look?
Like, oh, look at it, you came with the Sony.
Like, you
came no, I haven't gotten it yet, because I know I might get that in weddings, because I used to bring these to, like, not to flex, but you do look like a pro. So I'm kind of wondering, like, if I roll up, like, say with the A6600, which is a crop, looks teeny. I got a small, like, Tamron 18, or sorry, I think it's 13 to something, 13 to, let's call it 18. Like, are they gonna question me? Like, what the hell is that? I'm curious. So I haven't yet, but I'm curious when weddings start again if I'll get those looks. Like, did you hire this guy? Like, what the hell is that? So I don't know. I'm curious.
I've had like a couple people in the past be like, "Oh, they're not talking shit. They're not being negative, but they're just like wondering, oh, which Sony is that?" Like, I don't know, just the way they say it. I like, what are you like making fun of me, or are you really interested in what I'm using?
What Sony is that, bro?
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying like, hey, it's the newest Sony, but it's just like, yo, it's just the stuff I brought today.
Oh, okay.
Based on your budget.
That's what's up.
Oh,
dude,
based on your budget.
Yeah,
I like that.
That was fuego, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell them that, but yeah, basically, yeah.
That's crazy.
So then, would you, if you had to pick right now, and you had to throw away all your Canon gear or sell it or whatever, you would shoot, or vice versa, would you shoot just with Sony or would you shoot Canon?
Oh, just Sony all day for sure.
You would dump your Canon gear and just shoot with Sony for everything.
For sure.
You
for
too.
sure. Yeah.
I think we're all in it together if and when Sony fixes the skin tones.
Yeah, it's over.
That's all it needs to do. Just creamify the skin. Sounds really gross. Smooth it out. Solid. And that's the reason why I've always hated Nikon. It was like so crisp that it like separated the subjects from the background entirely. It almost looks green screen, and it's like you can see everybody's pores. Like, I don't want to see people's pores. Nobody wants to see their own pores.
Yeah.
And then Canon was like, oh, you don't want to see pores? No worries. We're going to actually add foundation onto your skin, your whole body. And you're like, I'm an angel.
Angel Canon. Angel. That's crazy. Oh, wait, let's do this. Hey, I got one for you. Okay, so 2 cameras only. 2 cameras for Sony. And with the lineup right now, what would be your dream team setup and with what lenses for those 2 cameras? So like 2 bodies, 2 lenses, just to start off. I'm sure you can get like 3 bodies, 8 bodies, whatever. But if you were to pick 2 Sony ones, which ones and with which lenses and why? Curious.
Oh, I don't know anything about
them.
I just handed them from the guy that shoots with them.
I'd get the new, what is it? The Sony A7S3?
Oh, I'd get that one too, dude. That one's beast.
I'd get at least
look that one up.
I'd get at least one of those. And then I'd get, I don't know if I'd get the, what is it, the R?
The R's for the photography.
Or maybe just get the is it A7 III still the newest one?
That's the latest one. They should be dropping the 4 supposedly this year.
So if the 4 was out, I'd get the 4, obviously.
You motherfucking stole mine, dude. I was like, that's it. You got it, dude.
Here's the thing. If you're going to do Sony, you want to do one so you have a photo one, and you want to do one that
correct.
You do video, and then the photo one can be your backup video one.
Correct. That's it. And you hit the nail on the head. I wouldn't do the R because that's specifically for photo.
Right.
But I like the A7 III because it's the hybrid. Like I think it's 23 megapixels, which I'm sorry, for wedding clients, that's enough.
Yeah.
And the thing like that's you don't need no 40 megapixel.
No.
Unless you're doing
it's a sale.
Correct. It's just it's marketing, it's bullshit. Yeah. So I say that A7 III is a perfect hybrid one as a B camera, like first that second camera. But that dude, V-dubs, if you haven't seen the video, look up the Sony Walk on Moon. Or
I saw it. I freaking
did you
saw
see
it.
how they shot in the dark though? That's
dude.
Canon cannot ever touch
no.
Like ever. That shit was that was
they'll get it right, but then they'll have no detail on the moon.
But still, dude, when they were running at night chasing that shit and you could see them and they put that bitch on a drone, I was like, I just said, what the fudge, man? That was crazy. That shocked my wife too, because she shoots Canon and she went, is this fake? I was like, no.
Right? It looks fake.
I was like, nope, this is
the compression is crazy.
Yeah, that shit was wild, dude. I wouldn't walk around with the giant lens like that at all. I think the biggest lens I'd rock is probably just the 70-200. I wouldn't go bigger than that.
For which?
Put it in a wagon.
I don't know.
Put it in a wagon, a giant.
Yeah.
What's the biggest lens you would use? Like a 600 or?
I'd use a 58 million. I don't care. It's fun as long as I put it on a tripod.
I've used a 500 just with my hands, dude.
500 with your
so heavy?
Not even joking. No,
it is so heavy.
No, it's just light. It's actually lighter because I've handheld a 400, the old 400 2.8,
Oh, okay,
okay.
That's
I was
just
thinking
12
one of those
pounds.
giant bird ones, dude. Like, nah.
It is. No, they're gigantic. It's even longer than the.
How do you handhold that? You just like get your strong hand and just...
Yeah. Your one's on the body and then one's on the bottom of the foot. It's actually lighter though, because it only goes to 4.5.
That's crazy though,
So the
dude.
500
Okay.
4.5, at least the one I had, was lighter.
There you go. The
And then the
barrel
400
smaller.
Dude.
400 is heavier because of all the extra glass you have in it.
That would be a funny YouTube video if you walk around with like giant lenses in like the city and just like overkill shots, like just fucking big ass handheld ones, like just shooting portraits of fashion.
Portraits.
I'll tell you this much: if you want attention, get a big ass fucking lens like that.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Those people will fucking stare at you like, "What are you doing?"
I stare at people at the zoo. Like, there's some fucking old timers just posted up on the zoo with their giant ones, and I'm like, Jesus, like,
yeah,
you can't not look. It's crazy, dude.
I know.
It's insane. It's insane.
Well, especially as camera people, you're gonna have to look.
Oh yeah, nerding out for sure. I'm like, what
I
is that,
stare
bro?
at anybody with a camera.
Really?
You do or don't?
I stare at everyone.
Really?
Yeah, same here. Well, I get in trouble. I get in trouble by my wife because I look at people a lot because I love portraits, and when I see like this interesting like jawline, or like I saw an Indian guy another day, like he has like crazy eyes and like puffy cheeks, and he was an older man, and I was like, she's all, stop staring. I was like, dude, that would be a sick portrait right now because the light was hitting him, and she's like, stop, fucking stop. I was like, I just look at people, so it's not only cameras.
You should go up to them. You should be like, hey, I'm a photographer and I think you have a really interesting look. Like, if you allow me, I'd love to share it too.
I need to start doing that shit, man.
Shots. And if they say no, it's like, no harm done. Maybe it feels like a compliment to them.
Yeah. I think I need to start doing that because the problem is like I'm taking the kids out with me, so I don't bring the camera, but I probably still should shoot it on the phone. Still look good.
Well, no, bring the camera, bring your kids, have your kids hold on to the other stuff that you got, have them watch. Right?
Hey, hold my reflector.
Right? Yes. Teach them young.
That'll be cool. Hey, I might start doing that. And it's not scary for me because I'm used to hearing no a lot. I think it's just bringing the camera out and doing it. That would be sick.
Yeah, do it. And get like, get like one of your cameras that you don't really care that much about. So it's like, if for some reason you forget in the car and your car gets broken into, then it's like, oh, it wasn't my workhorse.
I'm gonna go buy my A6000 on Craigslist, dude.
Right?
$350 on eBay.
There you go. You can probably find it right now.
Oh yeah, dude. If they break that shit and steal it, oh wow, dude.
So is there any reasons that you guys would stick with Canon and not do Sony?
Oh man, this is a tall order, but if Canon stepped up their mirrorless game, and they have a lot of catching up to do, but if they do something like a Hail Mary and they fucking make something that's like even better tracking with their color science, and it's lighter and it's faster, like good luck, Canon. But if you could do that, there's still hope for you, but it's kind of too late because they're whooping your ass.
Same.
But yeah, that's what I would say, man.
So like, but as of now, what they have now,
nah. Like they just what's the new Canon one? R6? I can't remember.
R6 and R5.
Like I wasn't really impressed with it. Like I was just like, oh, you're finally coming to play. That's what I said. Yep. You're finally coming to play.
Like welcome to 2020, and even though it's 2021.
Yeah, but I heard those bitches overheat a lot, dude. Like you can't shoot a wedding with them. That's what I heard.
You can't.
I don't know if they fixed it, but I was like, why buy it? If you're gonna shoot weddings and it cooks out, no thanks.
What about the Sony? Have you ever had that overheat?
Nope, never, dude. Especially the A7 IIIs, you can rock those for 30 minutes, 4K, no problem, dude. Like nothing overheats.
Really?
So, pretty dope. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Oh, sure.
And did you guys hear the A6400 could shoot without a time limit, no overheating at all? So that made my eyes do that. Where I was like, that V-dubs. Where I was like, what the?
There's a way to do it.
What's up?
There's a way to do it. Like
no, it's by default. The A6400 is just stock. Like you could shoot unlimited, dude. As long as your camera has the battery and the SD card, you're good to go, man. And I think a battery lasts like 80 to 90 minutes. So that's like an hour and a half like interview, dude.
So good.
Yeah, it's sick. Like that one I would plop on a wedding. Hopefully it doesn't fall like Rene's story. Like that one broke my heart. Where it's like, no. But dude, that would be a sick ass, like whatever camera, set it, forget it, and walk away type shit, dude. So that'd be tight.
That's a good price point too. That's not bad. Like I would pay for that just to have that.
Me too, because I already have a full frame, so might as well get a crop that can shoot unlimited. And that shit, the A6400, it has the tap to track feature too, where you tap someone's face and it'll track them. So it has a lot for a little body, man. Like I was looking up a lot of videos and I was like, yo, on some real shit, if you have an A7 III, that might be a good B cam. Like I get to A7 IIIs is dope because you got that. But to have that variety where you could shoot unlimited on one camera and have your A7 III be like the on-off one B-roll, like that's pretty dope. It's a good combo. So highly recommended, man. Highly recommended. I might go buy one after this shit. Yeah, selling myself, dude.
We didn't talk about this, but what 2 lenses would you put on it on the bottom?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Definitely, we talked about it on the last show. I think 24-700 has to be one
on the Sony.
Yeah, 24-700, and I like the Sigma Art series. I know there's better ones out there, but that one, the color, the contrast, how it shoots against the sun with lens flares, it's dope. So I would recommend that one. And then you're gonna laugh at me at this one. It's the weirdest fucking lens, the Tamron 70-180. It's not even a 200. It's the 70-180 f2.8. It sucks against going against the sun. So if you're shooting against the sun, it's gonna look shitty. But I just love how light it is on that freaking Sony, dude. It's small. It is so small.
Don't you feel like you're gonna drop it?
Yes, you do.
Nothing that you're just like.
You do. Like it's so light that you're like, oh, it could slip out my hand. So one of my rules is it has to be strapped when I'm using that 70-180. Like I'm not shooting artsy shots when I have like the 70-180. It's always here. So I'm like, it has to be strapped. That's my rule. Because that I do feel like I'm gonna drop it. This, I really don't feel like it's in here. Like I ain't gonna drop that shit. So yeah. So how about you? What would be your guys' 2 lenses? Would 24-70? Would you guys agree with that one? Yeah. What about your guys' secondary lenses? Would it be an 85, a 50? What would you pick? A wide angle? Not sure. What's your guys' style?
Telephoto for sure.
Oh, which one?
Telephoto for sure.
That's so you'd pick a telephoto?
Yeah, that's just like the best combo for me.
Okay.
If I didn't get telephoto, I do like a 50.
A 50?
And get creative.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay. Not the 85? 50 versus 85?
I'm not a fan, dude. I don't like rocking the 85. I don't like
it. You guys are both 50s?
Yeah. I have the 85 1.2 and I only do headshots with it.
That's all it's good for, to be honest.
I had one through it. I didn't use it. I just I don't like it. So.
Yeah, 50 you could shoot from like the thigh up, right? Like the thigh up comfortably, like you'll be all right.
For me, the 50, you can work with it. You can move around a lot.
There you go. 85, you're trapped.
85 was like, fuck, you gotta go far. You gotta back up.
Yeah.
So I didn't like it. But
true that.
You can't shoot a group.
I agree with that.
Nope. Unless those people here on the side of me don't matter.
Dang, that's that LinkedIn profile, dude. I hate those shots, dude. Like you can see their arms up and it's fucking LinkedIn.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah,
but it's so good because it's like pinpointed on that one person.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, sorry guys.
Right.
Blurry on you.
If you do a portrait, if you want to get rolled there, I'd do 85.
Yeah.
I'm rarely doing that.
But you can get away with doing telephoto as a portrait.
Oh, for sure. So. Yeah, you hit those ranges. If you got that 70-200, you're already in the 70-80 range, which is dope.
It won't be like that beautiful crispiness.
Yeah,
just
but it's
like
good enough.
The compromise.
Yeah,
having range.
Yeah. And that's the joke, man. I always tell people with zoom lenses, don't count these out. Each millimeter does fucking matter. Like from 70 to 73, 73 to 77, 77 to 87, like that shit matters. And you're kind of carrying like all those lenses as opposed to just 85. Like that's all you got. Like that shit's cool.
Imagine you had a prime for all your millimeters.
Dude, that would be fucked up. Do you want me to pull up my 76? Okay. That would be fucked up, dude. That'd be crazy. Oh, imagine a prime 73.
Perfect.
Gross. That's funny. Yeah, man. Yeah, this was a cool one. Was there anything else that you wanted to cover? That was tight, dude. That was
I think the theory, the unanimous decision is Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll agree.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
With regret.
I'm a little sad about it, but
yeah.
I am too, and you guys as well. I know you guys did. Like, you guys started off with Canon. Like, I have so much good memories with Canon. That's how I learned. Like, I have a lot of nostalgia with Canon. But me and my boy, we kind of joke. It's kind of fucked up, but we said we'd make shirts that say "Sorry, Canon, fuck you." Like, we've moved on. Like,
Yep.
but it's kind of like, if you don't evolve as a company, like, this is literally a great metaphor for business owners out there. Guys, if you do not fucking adapt, people will leave you the fuck alone. So I hear all these old timers that say, I don't use Photoshop, that's not purist photography. I'm like, old man, the fact that I could compose and add a crazy backdrop and get away baby hairs for these girls and push in their arms if they want, you're gonna be left in the dust, chump. And they do, and they get mad and they get salty. That's Canon right now. Like, they're getting their ass kicked in the ring against companies like Sony, and I know Olympus and all these other dope ass ones. Like, what's up? If you don't adapt, you die. So I hope people take this lesson in this podcast and say, adapt or die, and people won't make t-shirts and say fuck you. Like, that's kind of fucked up. But I have a lot of respect for them, man. They got me started, so thank you for that. But you better step it up. I could talk shit because I know how to run a photography fucking legacy. Like, I don't know shit about that, but yeah, man.
I feel like they're barely catching up. So that's pretty sad. But
it is sad.
Yeah, you move forward from it to your own needs. So okay, whatever.
Correct. Like, what do you guys feel about Nikon? I feel like they're gone, dude. Like, no one's talking about them, dude. No one. I haven't heard them.
I don't think they're getting talked about, but I think it's also because we're Canon shooters. So it's just like we don't even bother.
But I have a lot of friends that are in the photography space, and I really hear just Sony, Olympus, Canon. Like, I rarely hear Nikon these days. It's crazy. Like, out of 10, maybe 1 or 2 tops.
I had a buddy who was all Nikon. He fucking loved it. You know, obviously we all talk shit. No, fuck Canon, fucking like.
Yeah, wars.
And last time I spoke to him, all about that Sony life.
Dang, he got converted. Blessed art thou.
Got, that shit's gone. All the other shooters, all the people I know, they're all Sony shooters and they keep a body, like, they'll keep a Canon or something like that.
I'm gonna keep it as a trophy. Like, I'll never get rid of my 6D Mark II because that one shot most of my weddings, dude. Like, that was my workhorse. That's gonna be on a fucking frame, dude. Like, thank you for all that money, Canon. Like, thank you. Like, that was cool. You definitely paid tenfold, and that's where respects due. Like, you made a tool for us to use. Or shit, man. Like, we're able to make money as creatives. How dope is that? But there's that other side of the coin where, man, dude, like, we will leave you if you don't innovate or die. It's sad, man. It's bittersweet because I love me some Canon, have some great memories. Like, watch, we'll end the podcast like this. What was your favorite memory with your Canon? Like, one that sticks out to you where you're like, fuck, man, I'm glad I got this camera. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what was yours?
For me, it was just experimenting with all the stuff you could do, man. You could shoot so much stuff, that like learning to see what kind of stuff you like to do, like, that's me, man. Like, I love shooting triggers. I love shooting like multiple bodies. Like, it was just the first one that kind of got me into like, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can use strobes, like all that stuff. It was that first body I ever bought, and then I was able to like practice little berries.
So you got those memories. You built those memories with that first body.
Yeah.
Dude, I have a vivid memory, and I hope this sparks something from you, V-Dubs, like a specific story. But I remember going on Craigslist for, I think it was a 17 to 28, 28 to 55 Tamron f2.8. It was for the crop sensor, and I think I had a T7i or T3i. T3i. It was a T3i. I love that. Yeah, old school, but T3i. And this is what I vividly remember, where I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome, Canon. Even though it was a Tamron lens, it was still on a Canon, so I counted. But I remember going to that coffee shop, Starbucks, and I put on that lens because I was shooting kit lens forever, where I was like, fuck, 18 to 55, you can put your hand in front of the camera, and it's still, the background's kind of blurry, but 2.8 was some next level shit. So I put that lens on 2.8, and then I put my hand just right there, and I would say the coffee wall was probably like a good 15 feet from me. And I vividly fucking remember just taking a picture of my hand, and I just saw like the details of the palm, like just this, and the background was fucking gone. And I remember looking at the guy, like I was shocked, and he was like, "Are you fucking okay?" Like type thing. Where I went, And he's like, oh, fuck, is my lens broken? Like, he probably thought his lens was broken and he wasn't going to get the deal. But what had happened there, that's where I bought into Canon, where I was like, you could do that with a fucking camera? Are you kidding me? Like, I was blown away, dude, where I was like, look at my hand. And I just thought, what else could I do? That's all I said. What else could I do?
You're a kid with the old guy and the quarter in the ear.
Oh yeah, dude. And I was driving home taking pictures of everything with that 2.8. I was getting like little fucking, what are those called? Like the little Comic-Con like pins from Comic-Con, the little bobbleheads. I was shooting everything and I was like, 2.8 is crazy. So for me, that's a vivid memory that Canon gave me where I was like, fuck that. That was a cool feeling where I was like, I felt like I had superpowers where I could really just take a picture and like make you look at something. So I hope that one was specific and fun for you guys. How about you, V-Dubs?
I think mine is like a weird one.
Go for it.
Like,
let's see.
Just like the damage that it can deal with without breaking.
Right.
Oh, okay. Talk about that real quick.
Like either from being in the sun and it tells you it's getting too hot.
Yeah.
Or like overworking even like your flash to death. Or like I've heard so many flash bulbs from using like a quantum battery to like just keep charging it. I've like just burned it and you can smell the burn when it happens. Or like literally shooting in the water and then the water just goes over all the equipment. And I'm so like, I'm good. We're fine. It's water resistant to an extent, you know?
Damn.
Or like having it drop into the sand or a kid putting like his toys on it and I don't even notice. And he drops something that's like a part of my gear. And I'm like, it's Canon. It'll be fine.
So that gave you like that was a fun memory where you're like, that's a rock. Like,
yeah, I'm like, I could do anything with this and I'm not worried that it's not going to work.
That's dope.
It's
with
so
Sony,
weird.
I don't feel that.
I
was like, I dig
so
it. It's like, it blows up.
You're like, please God, no.
Yeah.
It's a ticking time bomb.
That's a cool one. I like that memory. Like, that's dope. Like, about the ruggedness of it, man. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Well, you know, obviously National Geographic. Like, I feel like they'll always like stick with one of those cameras.
Oh, for sure. Those are rugged as fuck, for sure.
Now that you say that, now I think of like a really good memory.
Okay, go. I sparked one. I was like, I knew I had a spark one, dude. Like, that was
now it's stuck with me. So I was in Colorado shooting a sporting event.
Okay.
It was half pipe snowboarding.
Oh,
nice. And right when I was out there, it fucking started to snow. It fucking started to snow, man. Like, but you know, I'm just there shooting, and I'll never forget the feeling. I was like, "This is the fucking greatest feeling ever." It was the shit.
Nice, dude.
I mean, like, I can't describe it fully, but like knowing that you're there in the action, but then you're in the elements, and you're just doing your thing.
Yeah, you're still getting your shots.
Yeah, you're still getting your shots, and like you said, you know your equipment's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But there's something about like shooting in the elements, like you're still powering through and getting what you need to get done.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man.
That's a dope memory.
Dude,
So,
isn't that like when you live back through it, you're like, it's kind of like this weird, I know what you're saying, like it's hard to explain it, but the way I would explain it is like you're immersed in the moment and you're living it through that fucking lens and that story, like in that split second, where that's like the best way I've explained it to people, where I was like, man, when you're a photographer and you're truly in the moment, you get fucking lost, dude. Like you get lost. You're in your fucking camera. You are the body. You are the lens. You're everything. It's weird. Like that's how I would describe it. Where I'm like, man, like it's an out of body experience when you do it right. Because let's be real, when you shoot families and kids, you can't get in that Zen moment. Like it has to be what you're talking about.
It's just
fucking elements. Like for me, it was when I went to Washington too, and just the sun was hitting my cheeks. I was shooting Deception Pass. I was hearing the water coming in. And I was just like, fuck, man, like, this is sick. Like, that shot is epic. I was shooting it wide, and I was like, man, dude, like, I see these on pictures, but I'm here now. Like, this is my version. Like, I got sucked into that shit, and it was fucking cool, dude. Like, those moments, man, it's like a high. It's a super good high.
I think you said it too. You're like, you're in the moment. You're present in the moment.
Correct.
And you're capturing it, and there's something about it that's like really fucking dope. It's really rad.
Yeah, I kind of got goosebumps when you were talking about the fucking winter elements thing. I was like,
there's
like, that shit. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I had the same thing in Ireland when it was raining.
Always
the the very, very end of the Dingle Peninsula. And it's like where I didn't even know. I was like, well, we're just going to go to the very, very end. And apparently there's a walkway and keeps going down and down and down. It goes to like this little bridge, apparently where it meets a ship. And it brings these sheep to an island.
Oh shit.
To like eat all the crap on the island, and they bring them all back. But it started raining as we were walking down that area, and I was shooting, and I was like, I'm gonna capture rainy ass Ireland. This is great. Because it wasn't raining the whole time I was there. I don't know, whenever I travel, I bring great weather with me, and they're like, oh, it's 73 degrees. I'm like, it's always 73. Like, come on. I'm San Diegan. It's always 73. And for some reason, I go to Washington, it's fucking 73. So then actually being there with it raining on me, raining my equipment, raining all over my clothes, and like I was not dressed appropriately either. Like I was basically a Sony in the rain. Like
a Sony in the rain.
I could be damaged at any moment. Right?
Yeah.
And then here it is. This can is just like, I can tolerate this.
It's all, I got you, boo.
Right? I'm like, I should just cover myself with the Canon.
That's hilarious. That's cool, man. Thank you guys for sharing that. That was cool, man. We went a little deep there. That was sick. That was sick, man. I always remember those moments, but I'm pretty sure we'll get some dope ones if we convert to Sony too. Like, we'll get some. But for right now, like Canon, like, man, when you first start out, you get those moments way more, dude. Because like now that high, I have a tolerant, dude. Like I'm so used to shooting shit all the time that I have like a tolerance of like, this ain't new. This ain't new. I have to go to somewhere like completely different to get that high, which kind of sucks. It's kind of like, man, I built
on
a
an air balloon.
Yeah. For sure, man, dude. Well, dude, I would say that that was a great way to end it right there, dude. We got some good stuff. So any last remarks, Rene? You want to take us out with some cool ass thoughts, something dope?
Fuck, I don't even have something dope, but it makes me want to go practice and shoot and go hunt that feeling for sure.
Hey, if we could find that feeling somehow, man, I don't know how we can, but if one of us could come with it or someone drops it in the comment, maybe there's a hack or a lifestyle or a mindset or a book, man, connect us and like we'll freaking do a challenge YouTube video. That would be sick. When we get that feeling again, that would be sick.
I'm down with that.
I would be super down. I'm gonna look into that shit, dude. I'll see what I could find, and maybe we could share it with the audience if we, find it. We'll see what's up.
I'm down. Cool. Challenge for that mindset. All right. I think that's the way to end it for sure.
Big time.
I'll catch you guys later.
All right, guys. Peace out.
No more.